Welcome to Inside Fall River. Inside Fall River is produced by Fall River Community Television, and it intends to provide television programming for, of, and by individuals and groups to celebrate the resources, the diverse people, the varied concerns, the abundant successes, and the shared potential and responsibility of the Fall River community. I am Stephen Camara, and my co-host is Wendy Goff-Lipp. Together, we will bring you interviews with interesting people about interesting places and activities that are happening inside Fall River. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on Inside Fall River, or if you have a group or topic that you would like to have discussed on Inside Fall River, contact me at Bristol Community College. Also, you may access Fall River Community Television on our website, on Facebook, or on Twitter. Enjoy Inside Fall River, and remember, your feedback to this program is welcomed and encouraged. Fall River Community Television is your community access television station, and it is committed to building community through communication. Thank you for supporting Fall River Community Television. Hi, this is Steve Camara, and welcome to this special edition of Inside Fall River. Today we're going to take a tour of a very well-respected institution here in Fall River called Catholic Memorial Home. And after we've taken our tour, we'll be sitting down with Jen Davis. Jen is the assistant administrator here at Catholic Memorial Home, and she will be informing us of the many services that are available here, not just for elders, but for those who are in need of the kinds of services available here at Catholic Memorial Home.
Care that responds to the whole individual. This is the kind of care that Catholic Memorial Home provides to its residents every day. Much has changed since 1939 when Catholic Memorial Home opened its doors, but our unwavering dedication to our residents, their families, and the Fall River community remains constant. Catholic Memorial Home assures high-quality care individualized to your loved one's needs by our team of nurses, dietitians, rehabilitation therapists, social workers, and activities coordinators. Our entire team shares a commitment to preserving the dignity and independence of all our residents. Additionally, our pastoral care staff provides companionship, spiritual support, and counseling to residents and family members of all faiths. We are proud to meet the needs of the local Portuguese community by offering bilingual staff members as well as religious services spoken in Portuguese and activities centered in the Portuguese culture. Catholic Memorial Home delivers this individualized care in settings that are thoughtfully designed to meet different levels of need. We offer sensitive and personalized care to those living with Alzheimer's disease and dementia on our Monsignor Raymond T. Considine unit. Care is provided to focus on each resident's functional best with the goal of maintaining pride and independence. For our short-term residents with the goal to return home, rehabilitation services are provided by our skilled therapy staff in nicely appointed surroundings to ensure your successful return to the community. Our palliative care program offers specialized treatment and emotional support to those with a terminal illness. The goal of this program is symptom relief, including aggressive pain management and spiritual and emotional assistance for the resident and their family. Our palliative care team can also arrange for supplemental hospice care provided by a local hospice of the resident's choice. Catholic Memorial Home is committed to helping our residents age with dignity and grace in pleasant, clean, home-like surroundings designed to give both residents and their families peace of mind. To schedule a tour or for more information, please call me, Jen Davis, at 508-679-0011. Catholic Memorial Home, where love is made visible every day.
Welcome to this edition of Inside Fall River, and it's my pleasure to be here at Catholic Memorial Home with Jen Davis, who's Assistant Administrator of the home. We've connected in the past, and it's nice to be together again today. Now, Jen, this institution is one that's so familiar to everyone who's in Fall River and everyone that's been through Fall River because it has such a magnificent presence here at the top of Highland Avenue. So why don't you give us a little bit of history about the Catholic Memorial Home and how it came to be and what its primary purpose is in being here.
Sure. Well, our building dates back to 1939. That's when the building actually was opened, and what happened was the Sullivan family actually left a endowment, if you will, to the diocese at that time, specifically to create a place for the aged and the infirm. And that's a little bit unique. A lot of buildings that became nursing facilities were not necessarily built for that purpose, but we were built for that purpose. And then Bishop Cassidy at the time did a public fund appeal to make up for the rest of the money that they needed to build Catholic Memorial Home. And that fund appeal actually is what ended up, as we know today, as the Catholic Charities Appeal, which the Catholic churches participate in every year. So the community was extremely generous, and over 10 days between what the community donated and what the Sullivan family left, they collected $250,000, and that is what it cost in 1939 to build this building.
Quite a bargain.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think you can even buy a house for that price these days. So we came into existence in September of 1939. We were called the Old Folks Home, which certainly now is passé, but at the time was perfect to describe the group, the population that they wanted to serve. And we have grown and evolved ever since.
That's wonderful, and and as a younger man, I grew up here in Fall River. It was always referred to as either the Old Folks Home or the Catholic Home, and in fact, there was sort of a sense that this is where the Catholics went. There was also something that was called or known as the Protestant Home, which is actually the home for aged people, which is still here, a bit lower down onto Highland Avenue, and then of course, the neighborhood where I grew up was the Jewish Home.
Sure.
So but now all of these homes provide services to people regardless of faith, and is that also true here at Catholic Memorial Home? Are there people of other religions that are here?
Yes, absolutely. You know, our mission and our practices in medicine are guided by the Catholic faith and Catholic doctrine. And certainly Catholicism is a big part of daily life here, but you absolutely do not have to be Catholic to come here. We welcome anyone to come to our building. And, you know, it's a nice time in a way to learn about other people's faiths and share different traditions and different family upbringings and things. We do have a couple of interfaith groups that our deacon who works here for us leads, which is a great opportunity for the residents to come together and, you know, celebrate different types of upbringings and backgrounds and different beliefs. So it's worked out very well.
Sure, and yet there is, as you mentioned, that strong underlying foundation of Catholicism, so that residents and even people that are here for rehab can partake in daily Mass and Catholic tradition?
Absolutely. We do have Mass here every day. Something unique to Catholic Memorial Home is we have a pastoral care staff. So we have a deacon and a sister who are here every day to minister to our residents. You know, we celebrate the Catholic holidays. We have special Masses throughout the year. We have adoration. We have rosary and benediction. And, you know, we've always been proud to serve particularly the Portuguese Catholic community as well. So we have Portuguese Mass once a month, and we have Portuguese rosary once a week for those that would prefer to pray in their native language.
Great. And there is also a component within the institution, as I understand it, for priests and retired priests. Is that part of the Catholic Memorial Home mission to also provide for clergy who have reached an age of retirement?
Absolutely. We have both priests and nuns that have come here either for a short period of time, as you mentioned, rehab to recover from an illness or surgery, and then we do have some that live here with us as well. And the diocese, of course, is very committed to taking care of their elder and retired clergymen. So there's also within the diocesan health facilities who helps run our building, the Cardinal Medeiros residence, which is more of an assisted living type setting, so that retired priests specifically can have a little bit of assistance but still have an independent lifestyle.
Now, has your mission evolved or changed at all through the years? And what is your mission today? And how is that different than what your mission might have been in the past?
Sure. Well, our core mission statement has not changed, and it's a very simple statement. It's love made visible. And we are extremely proud of our staff here. We think that our staff do make love visible to our residents every day. We're not just here to take care of them physically, but mentally, emotionally, socially as well. And I really am proud to say that I see our staff going the extra distance to not just treat our residents as someone they need to care for, but truly as a person and as family. So the mission itself has not changed, although certainly we have evolved. We definitely are not the old folks home anymore. We have a very wide population that we serve here. And certainly as medicine has evolved and as the needs of the community have evolved, we've added quite a bit of different services in our building, and in fact even expanded the actual physical plant of the building so that we could accommodate more people.
Are all your facilities, though, here on this land that's right here?
Yes.
You don't have any satellite facilities in other communities or
the
other
diocese
sections?
does. The diocese actually owns 5 nursing homes. So we have Catholic Memorial Home here. We have Sacred Heart Home in New Bedford. We have Our Lady's Haven in Fairhaven. We have Marion Manor in Taunton, and Madonna Manor in Attleboro.
Wow, so quite a network of services.
Yes, they truly are trying to touch, you know, the extent of the diocese.
Now, certainly there is the perception that you're serving the elders of the community. Sure. Is there also some diversity in age groups? I know that there are some people that are younger than what we might consider elder, but yet are in need of significant care and may be at end of life, even though they may be much younger than senior citizens. Do you also provide for a younger population at all?
We do. We provide for the younger population really in 2 ways, and the younger population tends to be short-term here. Either it's because they need some rehabilitation after an illness, an accident, a surgery, or because they are coming for end of life. One of the things that really goes well with our mission of Love Made Visible is, of course, end of life care. We contract with several area hospices to just add additional services to the great care that we can provide. And we have had, unfortunately, some very young people have come. We are very blessed to have some very nice, large private rooms that we have dedicated specifically to people that really are at the very end of their life. They're very comfortably appointed so that the family can be there with them, even around the clock if they need to be.
Now, the always sensitive topic of money is this facility a facility that you can only come to if you have money, that you have the ability to pay, or is there a point at which people can move to government subsidized or some kind of subsidized program to get them through the day's expenses?
Sure. We can accept Mass Health or Medicaid here. In fact, many of our residents, especially our residents that are long-term, do utilize that service. We provide excellent care, but it is unfortunately expensive. So we have made every effort to make sure that we can accept Mass Health, because to serve the community, we need to be able to take that. So yes, they absolutely can.
Excellent. Well, just to be sure, have we pretty much covered all the kinds of services that are available here at Catholic Memorial Home?
We touched a little bit on our rehabilitation services. That's something that we are actively growing right now, and that would be for short-term services. We've recently created a partnership with Dr. Katz, who's affiliated with the Coastal Orthopedic Group. He is making rounds at our facility and doing education with our staff, so we make sure that we are up to date on the physical and occupational therapy treatments that are appropriate for different surgeries. And we're continuing to work on renovating the building to be able to accommodate people that might have some equipment needs while they're here, to be able to accommodate their therapy needs, and then with the goal of doing active discharge planning to get them back out into the community and functioning at a high level again. And then our other very large area of care, which I did not touch on, is Alzheimer's and dementia care. We have 2 designated units specifically for residents that have a diagnosis primarily of Alzheimer's or dementia. And we actually have 90 residents on those 2 units, across those 2 units. So we serve a very large need by specifically tailoring for Alzheimer's and dementia residents.
Well, that's a great demand that's out there, and it's good to know that that kind of service is available. Now, the residents that are in that Alzheimer's dementia care unit, do they integrate it all with the general population for any events, or are they pretty much kept separate for their own specific needs?
Well, it really depends on the resident. We have some residents on those units that still have enough memory and are high functioning enough that they still enjoy, you know, coming to Mass, going to larger group activities. We have a very lovely music activity every Friday afternoon. It's usually a large group. They enjoy that very much. Music is very important here. And then there are some residents that, because of the type of dementia they have or where they're at in their Alzheimer's disease, they're really not comfortable leaving surroundings that are familiar to them. So it's really nice. Our building allows us to be able to do both. You know, we have activities, assistance specifically for those units, so that people that can't or don't want to leave the units are being cared for socially as well as physically. And then those that can are welcome to come and integrate with anyone in the building as they're comfortable.
Great. Now, you had mentioned the priest having an assisted living component. Is there also an assisted living component for those who are not clergy members, or?
Not at this time. It's definitely something that we have talked about. I think it's probably a need that we can serve in the community. But at this moment, no, we don't have assisted living.
Now, looking into the future, we may be even touching on assisted living as an option.
Sure.
But what other kinds of things do you see Catholic Memorial Home addressing as it evolves into the future?
Sure. Well, one of the big things that we're working on now, which is big just in healthcare in general today, is working to go electronic, if you will. So here at Catholic Memorial Home, we're going to be starting the process in April of converting our medication passes to an electronic system that will connect us directly with our pharmacy to make sure that we are providing very accurate medications and medication passes from our nurses to the residents. And then that will lead to, of course, electronic medical records, which may even allow us eventually to tie in with the hospitals. The big thing right now is to make sure that people's information travels with them so that we're accurate in their needs, that we know their past history, so that we can make sure that we're right on target with our goals for them for the future.
Great. Now, if there are people that are watching that might have a loved one who is in need of the kinds of services that we've addressed today, or people themselves who might call on their own behalf, how do people get in touch with you, and how can they learn more about what is available here at Catholic Memorial Home?
We have our great admissions office who can always be contacted, as well as myself or our administrator, Tom Healy. You can simply just give us a call, and we can walk you through whatever your situation is. Many times people come to us because they're in the hospital and there's been some type of crisis or illness, and so they need help quickly. And we can do that very well. And then others come to us from home because maybe a family caregiver is not able to take care of them anymore, or they're not able to care for themselves, and there's just not an opportunity for someone to take care of them at home. And we can help them through that process as well. And
what is the phone number and a website, if there is a website,
Absolutely.
that people can get to?
We have both. You can call us at 508-679-0011. And that brings you right to our receptionist, and she can get a hold of whomever is appropriate for the situation the person is in. And we do have a website. It's www.dhfo.org. And that actually, you can find information about all 5 of the homes. So, if you were able to hear about Catholic Memorial Home and are interested in us, but perhaps live in the Taunton area or the New Bedford area and maybe we're a little far, certainly we provide wonderful services at our other buildings as well, so they could look those up on the website.
Okay, well, we'll certainly be posting those numbers and that website on our TV screen, but if you could just repeat those numbers once again, and the website, and that, is it DHF as in Frank O?
You got it, yep. Okay. The website is www.dhf as in Frank O.org, and then our phone number is 508-679-0011.
Well, I want to say from personal experience, your receptionist is very knowledgeable and very accommodating. Every time I've ever called, if I can't reach you or whoever it is that I'm looking for, she manages to either track them down or make sure they get back to me. So I commend your staff for being so attentive.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about, in our closing minutes, about your own history. How did you come about being the person that now is the assistant administrator here at Catholic Memorial Home? What is your history of service in particularly elder affairs?
Sure. Well, the diocese has been very good to me. They've offered me a lot of opportunity to grow since I've been here. I started here about 8.5 years ago as a social worker. So I started here as a staff social worker and then went on to get my master's degree while I was here. And I served both short and long-term residents here. And then shortly after getting my master's degree, they offered to allow me to explore administration. So they offered me a preceptorship here because we did a lot of hands-on learning for the administration. So went through with all the different departments, both here and in our other buildings, learning the ins and outs of everything that makes this building run. Beyond nursing, we have dietary, housekeeping, security, maintenance, wonderful people that all have to pull together to make this the great place that it is. So was able to spend time with all of those different departments and then move on to become the assistant administrator here.
Well, excellent. So you seem to have found your niche, not planning to leave anytime soon?
No, not at all.
Good.
Not at all.
Well, I'm very happy. I think I've mentioned to you, and I guess share with the watching audience, that I have a 97-year-old mother who is in a similar facility. She was in assisted living, and I think that was the primary reason why we chose the facility that we chose, was because they had the assisted living option. But she has now, at 97, needed to move into a more intensive care kind of situation. So she's in a nursing home now, and I've often thought that I wished that there was an assisted living option here. This certainly would have been more convenient for me, but also the reputation that Catholic Memorial Home is has is one that is commendable, because it truly is a facility where love seems to be the motivating force. It's not, you know, and every organization needs to gather enough resources to pay the bills, and so
of course.
you know, that's important. But I think that whenever folks think about Catholic Memorial Home, they think about it as a place where the mission is driven by love. And what did you again say that the mission phrase was?
Sure. Love made visible.
Love made visible.
Very
so that
simple.
certainly does capture the scene here. I think we've got a few more minutes. So are there any particular points that you'd like to, salient points that we might want to touch on once again, just to make sure that folks know what's available here, and they know particularly, I'll have you repeat the phone number and the website address so people know how to get in touch with you.
Sure, absolutely. You know, just sort of quickly, you know, we do, beyond taking Mass Health, we take Medicare, and we do take several private insurances such as Blue Cross Blue Shield and Senior Whole Health. We contract with many of the area physician groups, so there are several different physicians that come visit our building. So oftentimes residents that maybe are attached to a doctor in the community can still have their doctor follow them here. And again, we'll help work through that process. We do have our medical director available to anyone that does not have a doctor, either that comes here or that maybe has not had contact with the medical community in some time. Again, we offer a full complement of physical, occupational, speech therapy services. We do both short-term rehabilitation and long-term care, traditional long-term care, as well as our Alzheimer's and dementia care. We also have worked with Bristol Elder Services to provide respite care for people, and this would be a short-term stay for people in the community that perhaps their caregivers just need a break, or perhaps their caregiver needs to go into the hospital and have some care themselves. So they can come and stay with us for a short period of time while that's accomplished, and then return to their home with their caregiver. So, you know, I would again just like to say, you know, we are no longer the old folks home, although we're very proud of our tradition and we are deeply rooted in our Catholic tradition. We're working hard to stay state-of-the-art and stay, you know, right at the top of the medical community so we can provide the changing needs of the community that we may not have addressed in the past.
Excellent. And in order to get in touch with you again,
give us a call.
Number?
You can ask for me directly if you're more comfortable. It's 508-679-0011.
Very good, Jen. Well, thank you. It's always a pleasure to be with you, and pleasure to hear you so well articulate the mission and the activities that are here at Catholic Memorial Home. And to our viewing audience, this has been a special edition of Inside Fall River. As you know, those of you who watch us regularly, we tend to do our interviews in studio, but we've expanded the last couple of months to go into the community to see what's here inside Fall River and what's here available to you, the viewers who live here inside Fall River. So again, thank you for your attention, and we look forward to the next edition of Inside Fall River.